Calling case 20U168172 and 173 Sumter Township versus Dolores Jean Kennebrew. Your appearance, please.
Robert Young, prosecutor, Sumter Township, Your Honor.
And Ms. Kennebrew,
Yes, ma'am.
would you state your name, please?
Dolores Jean Kennebrew.
Ms. Kennebrew was unable to connect via Zoom, so she is on speakerphone in the court. This matter is being recorded and playing live on YouTube. Ms. Kennebrew, there's an offer in the file from the prosecutor to adjourn this matter for 60 days to allow you some time to address the issues listed in the ticket. Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we're going to adjourn this matter, not quite 60 days. It'll be April the 8th
Okay.
at 9 a.m.
All right.
before Judge Green,
Okay.
and they will mail notice to you.
Oh, that's fine.
Anything
Judge
else,
Green?
Mr.?
Yeah, may I, Your Honor?
Please.
Is it all right, Ms. Kennebrew, if Peter Gregory contacts you like he has been and works with you on this?
Ms. Kennebrew, did you hear Mr. Young?
Sort of. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it all.
I just would like to know if it's okay if Mr. Peter Gregory contacts her directly. He's the ordinance officer and he can facilitate discussions with her to help her understand what it is that we're asking her to do, if that's possible.
That's fine. I know him and he has helped me before.
All right, very good.
Cross set, Ms. Kennebrew, you have a good day.
And you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye. Marianne, is there anyone else made it up and ready to go?
Yes, I have Angela Heflin, Heflin.
Calling S0SU00431 A and B, Sumter Township versus Angela Marie Heflin.
Robert Young on behalf of Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Your name, ma'am?
Angela Heflin.
Ms. Heflin, there's an offer from the prosecutor for Sumter Township indicating that they're willing to dismiss upon proof of obtaining license of the dog at issue in this matter.
Okay, and I'd accept that, but I cannot, I checked to get the license and my vet is not, he's a travel vet. So I wasn't able to get my dog's updated vaccine until he's able to travel again, or I drive like 2.5 hours.
And when will you be able to do that?
I'm actually gonna just try and get him into a different vet and just go ahead and get the license.
Are you saying that you need more time?
Not that I mean, yeah, because I have to go get the license, but I have to call in and get him into a different vet.
Mr. Young?
I have no objection to an adjournment, Your Honor. If the court is willing, I'm willing to take a chance. She looks like and sounds like she's probably responsible, and this is an oversight. So can we count on you, Ms. Heflin, and taking care of that at your earliest inconvenience? Is that possible?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. At this point, Your Honor, I would move to dismiss without prejudice, and there's no reason to keep bringing this back. If she takes, I'll have the ordinance officer follow up on that in 30 days. So we'll do it that way. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you,
Move to
Mr.
dismiss, Your
Young.
Honor. Thank you.
Motion granted. Have a good day, ma'am. You're all set.
You too. Thank you.
Judge, we have Murray Duncan here. He's supposed to be here at 9:40. He's here with his attorney. Do you want me to bring them in?
Chowski,
Yes.
that's fine.
Okay. That's you, Rob.
Okay.
Calling 19U313393OI and 194372OD Sumter Township versus Bradley Tolsky.
Yes, Your Honor. Murray Duncan appearing on behalf of the defendant.
Robert Young, Sumter Township, Your Honor. Your Honor, this matter was before Judge Oakley on a motion challenging the breathalyzer results data master operations due to the problems that had occurred within the state. And the motion that was filed by Mr. Duncan was granted. So we were, the data master results were suppressed. We went back, we took a look at the tape, the stop, and we could proceed on impaired, but there was also, it's a questionable case if we proceed that way. Also, Huron Township had a similar matter, and it's my understanding that we were going to talk about resolving these matters with a reduced plea to careless driving. It's not something that I normally do. I'd rather lose a case than do this, but under the circumstances and given the information, I mean, that's what I'm willing to do. So my question is, I don't think there's any objection by Mr. Duncan to that. My question is,
There's not.
if that's the case, does the court want us to dismiss and reissue a careless, or are you just willing to take a plea to that?
Well, the plea offer I have in the file is to impaired.
I know that was before I had an opportunity to vet this further. It was back about 2 weeks ago when I was here. So I can amend that. I have no problem to do that. If the court wants us to dismiss and reissue, we'll do that. Or if you want to just take an outright careless, we don't have an objection to that either.
Mr. Duncan, do you have a preference?
No, Judge. Well, I guess, Judge, if the court would allow it, I would rather do the careless now and get this matter over with. It's been lingering for quite some time.
Okay. I don't have a preference, so
May I have a second, Your Honor?
yes.
Just 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to check with the police officer, so.
No worries. Mr. Young, I think that the court's preference will be that you dismiss and reissue. I can't imagine that Mr. Duncan would have any objection.
I do not object to that, Judge. Thank you for asking.
All right, so just to make this simple, normally I would keep it open until the careless was paid. But what I'll do is I'll move to dismiss without prejudice. And the ticket of careless driving will be issued. And once that's resolved, this will be changed to a dismissal with prejudice. Is that all right?
And that's
Mr. Duncan?
fine. Yes,
Right.
yes, it is fine with me. Thank you.
Well, at this time, move to dismiss without prejudice, Your Honor.
Defendant does not object, Your Honor.
Thank you. And as to the speeding ticket,
He can pay $125 for a double parking.
And that's fine too. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd have an objection to that.
I don't have no, I don't object to that either.
All right.
It's
That's
easy
your
so
break.
far.
That's your break for the day, Marie. I'm telling you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So we're all on the same page. 194372 will be dismissed and reissued as a careless. 19U313393OI will be amended to a parking ticket at 125. Mr. Polcharsky, how soon can you pay that?
I can pay it today, tomorrow. If I can do it, can I do a debit card?
You can go online and pay. You can come and drop payment off here, or you can mail it in.
I can pay it tomorrow.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Duncan?
No, Judge, thank you. That's
Have a
all
good
for
day.
Mr.
Thank you.
Petrowski. Thank you. I have another one with you too, Judge. Tia Pelk.
I'm all set. Sorry, Murray, I didn't mean to.
You're all set, Mr. Polcharsky.
Thank you.
Tia Pelk is here. I'll bring her in.
Wait 1 second. I'm
okay,
still,
wait.
well, I didn't realize Mr. Duncan had more than one. We're looking for Pepper from 9 o'clock or Taylor from, also at 9 o'clock, but you want to bring Pelk in if they're ready? And we can find out where these other 9 o'clocks are.
Yeah, there are a couple people here that I don't know who they are. But I'll bring Pelk in.
Thank you. Calling 20SU00437A and B. Your appearances, please.
Yes, Your Honor, Murray Duncan appearing on behalf of the defendant Tia Pelk.
Right.
I see Mr. Young is here for Sumter Township. There's an offer in the file to add count 2 impaired and a double parking at $200. And the operating while intoxicated and failure to stop will be dismissed.
Judge, I don't believe my client's been arraigned yet, so for purposes of arraignment, she stands mute and waives the reading, just to let the court know. And Your Honor, I will ask for an adjournment. I'm talking to probation. There's a possibility that Ms. Pelk is going to qualify for sobriety court. She has another matter that's pending in a separate court. So I'd ask for an adjournment. I'm dealing, and we're going to see if she qualifies for sobriety court. And Judge, when I talked to Art, he told me, could you put something in the file so they could send the referral form to my client? He said if,
He said
if there's something, if there's a note in the file that they will send a packet to my client and she can respond to it and they can screen her to see if she qualifies.
What was the offer the judge was
Impaired
just
driving.
speaking of?
Impaired driving.
Oh, okay.
And I think we talked about that and I told you what I was
Yes.
gonna do, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes. I misheard her. I thought she said drop that. Drop it to that. Now I get. Yeah.
the adjourned date will be will be April the 8th at 9 a.m. with Judge Green.
Thank you, Judge.
Ask to bond in these matters.
Judge, my client is employed. She's not drinking now. I'd ask for a personal bond. This is a first offense, Judge.
Mr. Young,
No objection, Your Honor.
bond be set at 5,000 personal.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And it's to consume no alcohol during the pendency of these proceedings.
Absolutely.
Mr. Duncan, I put a note in the file about the referral form and probation will get that out to your client.
Thank you, Judge.
Anything else as raised to Ms. Polk, Mr. Young,
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Duncan?
No, Judge, thank you.
We're all set. Ma'am, you have a good day.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good morning.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mary Ann?
Yes, there's an attorney here, Mr. French for A 920 ASCENCIO. Do you want me to bring him in?
Yes, ma'am. Is his client here?
No.
Good morning, Mr. French.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm here on Asensio.
I see you and the prosecutor's here, but I don't see your client.
I'm not sure where she's at. I could call her, but I'm still going to need to speak with the prosecutor off the record. What would you like for me to do first? Call her and get her on?
Talk to him first and then call her.
Okay. All right, Judge. Thank you.
Is that my case, Your Honor?
It is. Oh, no, it is not. I'm sorry. It's Huron.
Yeah.
I'll bring Mr. Foley in.
Thank you. Mr. Young, I'm still looking for anyone else who matches up with you.
All right, Your Honor, I've got the morning set aside, so whatever comes in, I'll be around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we going in a breakout room, Your Honor?
You are with Mr. French and Mr. Foley.
Yes.
Mary Ann will put you in one in just 1 second.
Thank you. Hello?
Mary Ann, if you want to bring these other people in and see what they're here for, if anybody makes up with Mr. Young, we can.
Derek Golden is a Sumter case. I'm bringing him in.
Good morning, Mr. Golden. Mr. Golden.
Let's push this.
Wonderful. This
There
is
we go.
20SU00489OM Sumter Township versus Derek Golden.
Yes.
Mr. Golden, you're scheduled for an arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on November 18, 2020 in Sumter Township, you committed the act of malicious destruction of property. That's a misdemeanor, sir. Would you like the opportunity to speak with an attorney this morning regarding this matter, or are you waiving that right and appearing on your own?
I can appear on my own.
Okay. Mr. Young?
Your Honor, I believe the file contains an offer, and normally I write these down. I have some recollection, but can you repeat it, Your Honor?
Mr.
Please.
Golden, there's an offer in the file from the prosecutor that you will plead guilty to the charge of malicious destruction of property. He's recommending that the court delay sentencing for a period of 1 year, that during this time, so long as you don't violate, as long as you don't incur any new charges, the matter will be dismissed. The only outstanding issue would be restitution to the alleged victim in this matter. Would you like to accept the offer of the prosecutor?
Sure, but can I speak or say something? Or I don't know how.
Mr. Golden, what is it that you
Yes.
like to say?
That day me and my son weren't even home. All right.
Oh, Mr. Golden, this is not a day for us to get into the details. That the original issue, the first issue to be addressed is you being arraigned on these charges, okay? So as to the arraignment, I've read the citation that provides you with the date the incident is alleged to have occurred, what it is that is alleged to have happened. As to the charge of malicious destruction of property, what say you? Guilty, not guilty? Or
Guilty.
Let me see.
I'll go with what the prosecutor said.
Mr. Golden, I'm gonna have you go into a breakout room with Mr. Bitar, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Ann.
Thank you, Judge.
So close. I see that Mr. Foley and Mr. French are back. Are we ready?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Your Honor, my client's having a hard time logging in to the Zoom.
Yeah, it's saying that I'm waiting for her to accept.
It says that she's waiting for you to accept her into the main.
She might be in under a different name. I see people in the waiting room.
I'll bring this one in that doesn't have a name. Maybe this is her.
Hold on a minute.
Is this your client?
No, that's not my client.
Okay.
Mary Ann, that breakout room for Golden ended.
There we go.
Oh, okay. I'll put you back.
Thank you.
Mr. French, you might want to double check with your client. I don't see anyone in our waiting room with your client's first name, so if she can rename herself, that would be helpful. Or if she can tell you what device she's on.
Yeah. Judge, are you there?
I'm here.
It says on her screen, please wait. The meeting host will let you in soon. Judge Lisa Martin's personal meeting room.
It's the waiting room for court. The issue is I can see who's in our waiting room and there's nobody there by the first name Jessica, last name Asensio. So
Okay,
it's possible that she's on a device.
right.
So on her Zoom screen, even though it says waiting room, she should be able to see what she's named as.
Okay. Jess, are you there?
Yeah.
What's your name on your?
Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Good morning.
As soon as the prosecutor, oh, here he is, 20SU00491 OM, Sumter Township versus Jason Johnson.
All right, Your Honor, Robert Young appearing on behalf of Sumter Township. Does the file contain a plea offer in that one too, Your Honor?
It does. Mr. Johnson, you're scheduled this morning for arraignment pretrial. As for your arraignment, it's alleged that on November 19, 2020 in Sumter Township, you committed the misdemeanor of open burning. The misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail, $500 in fines plus court costs. As to this allegation, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
Mr. Johnson, there's a recommendation or a plea offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty, the court would delay sentencing this matter for a period of 6 months, so long as you didn't incur any new offenses. The matter will be dismissed.
Yeah, I plead guilty.
Mr. Young?
No objection to the court taking the matter under advisement, and certainly whatever the court imposes for fines and costs is up to the court. So I have nothing more to say on this. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hold on the phone just a minute. Sorry, Judge.
Did you find your client?
Yeah, she doesn't have a name on the screen, Your Honor.
Then mute yourself. We'll finish this one and then we'll get your client situated.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, you understand that if you plead guilty this morning, the court accepts your plea that you will give up your right to have a trial of any kind in this matter, to call any witnesses on your behalf, and to question, cross-examine any witnesses presented by the people.
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing all that, you still wish to tender a plea of guilty to the charge of open burning?
Yes.
The court will accept your plea of guilty in this matter. The matter will be taken under advisement for a period of 6 months, so long as you don't incur any new offenses, that your record will be reviewed and the matter will be dismissed. The court will assess a $200 fine in this matter. There's going to be a $75 crime victims fee, a $50 state cost, $20 fund fee. My calculation puts that at $345. How long do you need to pay that?
Pay it as soon as possible.
What's as soon as possible? Are you able to pay it within the next 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can pay online, you can come pay at the court, or you can mail your payment in. Okay,
When will it be available to pay online?
you can do that now.
Uh,
You'll need your ticket number to pay online.
Well, I don't have a ticket number. I have, oh, maybe I do. I'm sorry.
But if you look on your notice in the upper right-hand corner, it will be the case number. So when I say ticket number, it'll be the case number, and that's what you need to pay.
Well, the case number, I just go on to 34th District Court.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Young?
Excuse me, nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Mr. Johnson.
Thanks, you too, Your Honor.
Mr. French, your client, you said doesn't have a name?
No, it's not on the screen, Your Honor.
Now I can see my face again, but there's no name.
Yeah, her face appears, but there's no name.
Am I supposed to be here?
Yes, Mr. Golden, you're supposed to be here. I'm gonna call you in
Oh,
just one
sorry.
second. No, you're fine. Mr. French, we already pulled in the only unnamed person. Is she on a device in her own name? Is possibly,
Yes, she is. Jess, you said the device was in your name, right? The cell
Yes.
phone? Okay.
we've already pulled in that one person and I don't see her on here.
They're not seeing you on there, Jess, so I'm not sure what to do at this point. Can she?
There's
Can
a
she-
person who just popped in the iPhone. Let me just see if this is her real quick.
You on an iPhone, Jess?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
her.
are.
That's her right there. Yes.
So I hit dial in?
You're fine,
Um,
ma'am.
You're fine. They can hear you.
Okay.
This is 20HR12019 OD, Huron Township versus Jessica Asensio. Your appearances, please.
Evan Foley for the people, Your Honor.
Ron French for the defendant, Your Honor.
Today is a day and time set for arraignment pretrial in this matter.
For purposes of the arraignment, Your Honor, we're going to waive the reading, stand my client mute.
Thank you, sir. If you've had a chance to talk to the prosecutor this morning,
We have, Your Honor.
there's an offer in the file for operating while intoxicated. What say you to that offer?
We're going to avail ourselves to that offer, Your Honor.
The offer indicates that there will be an added count to operating while intoxicated. The original charge of operating with high BAC will be dismissed, and that the prosecutor requests $241 as cost recovery to Huron Police Department. Is that the entirety of your agreement?
It is.
Mr. French, would you like to inquire of your client?
Sure. Mrs. Cintio, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the date and time of this incident, were you drinking alcohol prior to operating the motor vehicle? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
And did it affect your ability to operate your motor vehicle?
I'm assuming so. And I was on my medication.
And are you aware of the agreement? And do you agree with the agreement that we have with the prosecutor? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay, I think that gets it, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Plea will be accepted. She'll be referred to probation for a PSI. They'll schedule the sentencing with my secretary. As to bond in this matter,
Your Honor, my client is, she's having some emotional problems right now, and she's getting ready to go through a pretty ugly divorce. She's seen counselors already. She does not work. She was involved with her husband's business, working from home with his business, and they've had a falling out. So she doesn't have a real criminal history at all. So she does have a previous drunk driving in 2007. So we would ask for a personal recognizance bond, Your Honor. She's already doing the right thing by getting the counseling and going to AA.
Mr. Foley,
People don't object, Your Honor.
bond will be set at $5,000 personal. Ma'am, you're to consume no alcohol during the pendency of this matter. Just want to verify, we have a phone number for you ending in 9005.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation will be in contact with you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything
Thank
else,
you.
Mr. French?
No, that's it. Thank you very much, Judge, and thank you, Mr. Foley.
Have a good day. Thank you.
All right, Jess, I'll be calling.
Okay.
Mr. Bertar is back with Mr. Golden, S20SU00489.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Golden, Your Honor. As to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading and stand mute, please.
And Mr. Bertar, I'm not sure if you heard the offer of the prosecutor in this matter.
I did hear the offer, Your Honor. I have gone over it with my client. It's my understanding the offer would be a plea under advisement for a period of 12 months, remain crime-free, pay fines and costs. At the end of that period, the case would be dismissed, and Mr. Golden would like to take advantage of it, Your Honor.
Mr. Golden, you heard the comments made by your attorney this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
And is your desire to avail yourself of the offer of the people to plead guilty to the charge of malicious destruction of property, understanding that that will be taken under advisement for a period of 1 year?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand if your plea is accepted, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have a right to bring witnesses, question, cross-examine the witnesses of the people.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're pleading guilty to this charge freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
You've not been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, ma'am.
And is it true that on November 18, 2020, in Sumter Township, you openly burned, that you caused malicious destruction of property to the vehicle of, you have to help me, Mr. Young.
I'll take care of it, Judge.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Golden, on that date and time, did you punch a truck causing damage to it?
Yes.
And you didn't have permission to do that, did you?
No.
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Young?
It's fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
Go lay down.
As to the issue of restitution,
I have not been able to make contact. What I would suggest is we'll send a letter to the owner of the truck and try to make sure that Mr. Golden is not taken advantage of and try to come up with a cost.
I agree with that, Judge. I'm sorry, Mr. Golden, did you want to say something?
If it's possible, I know I'm an idiot. Can they get an estimate from somebody?
Well, Mr. Golden, let me explain how this is going to work. Right now, there has not been any statement by the complainant that there's been any type of monetary damage. What the prosecutor is telling you that he will have to provide some type of proof.
All
So
right.
he just can't come up with a random figure. There would have to be
Oh.
verification, okay?
All right. Thank you.
I guess my only concern is that leaving this matter open while restitution is determined.
Judge, I would ask you to give a 30-day deadline for that to be provided.
Normally, I would have no objection to that, Your Honor. The only thing is the owner of the truck lives in New York, so allow me a little additional time. And I also remind the court that this is taken under advisement for a year. I'm not suggesting it stay open for a year, but the court retains jurisdiction for that period. So give me 60 days, and if I don't get any satisfactory information, then we'll call it good.
We'll call it good. I appreciate that, Mr. Young. So as to the fines and costs exclusive of any restitution, there's going to be a $200 fine, $75 crime victims fee, state costs of $50, fund fee of $20. It's $345 for fines and costs, with the matter of restitution being taken under advisement for the next 60 days.
Mr. Golden?
Yes, sir.
Do you need time to pay that $345?
Yeah, for probably like 30 days. Probably can do that before.
Okay.
Satisfactory, Mr. Young?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes.
Anything further, Mr. Bitar?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
We're all set as relates to Mr. Golden. Have a good day, sir.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Bringing in Watchner, Christopher Watchner.
Hello,
Good morning, sir.
good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. I'm just looking for your file. Where's your video, please?
Can you see me?
I cannot see you.
I've never done this before. I'm trying to do it.
Are you on a phone or on a tablet?
A phone.
Mr. Washer, this is 20SU004930D. The matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial. The allegation is that on November 23rd, 2020, in Sumter Township, you operated with a blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more. Based on the allegation, I'm going to have you go into a breakout room with the MIDC attorney, Daniel Bitar. You're going to talk to him before you come out. Mr. Bitar, before you go into the breakout room, there's a plea offer in the file of impaired.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Marianne, if you could put them in a breakout, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see people in the waiting room, but I don't know.
Washkovich, that's the next one. Do you want me to bring that one in?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. This is 20SU00432 A and B, Sumter Township versus Donald Washkovich.
Deborah Young on behalf of Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
My name Donald Robert Waskevich.
Mr. Washkovich, you were scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. There's an allegation that on October 12, 2020, in Sumter Township, you failed to stop or identify yourself after an accident, which is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail for $500 in fines plus court costs. There's an accompanying careless driving civil infraction on that same date at the same time. There is a court-appointed attorney available if you'd like to speak with him this morning.
Yes, ma'am, I would.
Okay. Well, actually, there is an offer in the file that would have you plead guilty to the careless driving, which is a civil infraction, and pay $225 and amend the misdemeanor to a double parking. Am I reading that right, Mr. Young?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Washkovich.
I'm sorry.
So there would not be any misdemeanor, there would not be a misdemeanor remaining in that in this matter. So if you would like to avail yourself of the people's offer.
So they both would be civil infractions, no points. I pay a fine.
There would be one parking ticket and the civil infraction. Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just for clarification, I believe there are points assessed on the careless driving. I don't.
On the
know.
careless driving?
Yes, 3, I think it is. But the other matter would not be abstracted. The only matter on the record would be the careless. The failure to report would be reduced to the parking, double parking, and not appear on his record.
Can we reduce the careless driving to a non-moving accident or a double parking or lower offense?
Are you asking me, did I?
No, I'm asking.
Well,
I'm
I
asking
know.
the court.
I mean, I read the report. I don't want to get into it, but there needs to be some responsibility for what happened here. I mean, I think the offer, I mean, you could talk to the defense attorney if you want. MIDC attorney is here and he may have some ability to twist my arm, but as I sit right now, I think it was pretty reasonable as to what was offered.
Understand.
Sir, if do you want to take a moment and talk to the MIDC attorney?
If I could, Your Honor, yes.
So
please.
I'm going to have you wait 1 second. There was another matter that came out of the breakout room. This is 20-SU00493,
Yes, Your Honor.
Sumter Township versus Christopher Watchner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Watchner. As to the charges, we'll waive a formal reading and stand mute, please.
Mr. Batar, there's an offer in the file to have him into and impaired driving.
That's correct, Your Honor. At this time, we're going to ask the court to just set her for a pretrial. Mr. Watchner has been in contact with another attorney. He may end up retaining that attorney. I've informed him that as of now, I am his attorney. And if he does hire that other attorney, he will call me and let me know. And that other attorney will file paperwork with the court. So if we could just get a pretrial date, we'd appreciate it.
That date will be April the 8th, 2021 at 9:10 a.m. with Judge Green. As to the issue of bond,
Judge, he's employed as a warehouse employee at Great Lakes Wine and Spirits. He's not currently on probation for any offense. He has 2 minor children, 15 and 14 years old. He will not consume any alcohol during the pendency of this case. We're asking for a personal bond.
Mr. Young,
Your Honor, I have no objection to the personal bond, but I point out, and I know Dan has probably looked at this plea, under the circumstances, this is a high BAC. And a lot of times what happens is it might be reduced from a high BAC to just a straight up OWI. Understanding that Dan is available to provide defense and knows what the process is, the impaired was offered. So I don't know if this is going to remain, but I'm trying to move the file. It's a very gracious offer given the circumstances. And if you're telling me we're going to adjourn this, then the offer is off the table and we'll take another look at it.
Can I speak? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mr. Washner, but usually it's best if you speak through your attorney.
There isn't, Mr. Watchner, you shouldn't talk any specifics about the case. Is there something that you would like to speak about regarding it? Not the facts of the case, though.
No, just to be able to talk to you again before the pretrial and work something out. That just
Mr. Young, I don't think there's any nefarious intent on behalf of Mr. Watchner. He wanted to come into today with his attorney, but he doesn't have the money to hire that attorney at this point. So I guess I would just ask you to keep that offer open. I think he's going to take advantage of that offer, whether it be through me or the other attorney.
All right, I'll take a look at it. Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Mr. Washner, we're all set. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Don't forget to call
I'm
me,
sorry.
Mr. Watchner.
No, I'm sorry. Bond will be set at bond will be set at 5,000 personal. You're to consume no alcohol during the pendency of this matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now we're all set.
Thank
Mr.
you, Your
Watchner,
Honor.
make sure you give me a call if you hire that attorney. If not, I'll be back on April 8th with you, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Mr. Batar, we're going to keep you busy this morning. This is Mr. Washkovitz.
And
Today is the
I
arraignment
heard the offer is careless, dismiss the other charge, Judge?
and a double parking. So careless driving with a double parking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Marianne, I'm not sure who else is ready.
I have Brian Berry in the waiting room at 9:40.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Mary Ann? While Barry finishes connecting, I'm gonna go off the record for just a moment, okay?
Mhm.
Thank you.
What?
What is that?
Butter.
Butter.
This is 20HR 10521, Huron Township versus Brian Barry. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley for the people.
Speaking.
Your name, sir?
Brian Thomas Berry.
Mr. Barry, you're scheduled this morning for arraignment pretrial.
Okay.
It's alleged that on October 8, 2020 in Huron Township, you committed the misdemeanor of assault and battery. Misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail. fines of $500 and court costs.
We need to tell her we're trying to get pictures to a girl named Andy, but they're not going through.
There's somebody talking in the background.
Yes, my mother was stating that there was pictures of
Mr.
this
Berry,
trying to be sent in.
as to the arraignment in this matter, would you like to speak to an attorney this morning? Or are you willing to proceed or wishing to proceed on your own?
Is this where you say not guilty or guilty?
Yes, sir, but you don't even have to get to that point yet. There is a court-appointed attorney here available to speak to you, and there's an offer from the prosecutor in the file. Would you like to speak to an attorney?
I'm not willing to
Proceed on
take
your
any offer, and I want to proceed with this, and I do
Sir?
need an attorney.
Sir,
Yeah,
the first question is, would you like an attorney this morning? I haven't even gotten to the part of guilty, not guilty, or standing mute. Would you like to speak to an attorney this morning?
sure.
Okay. I'm gonna have you sit tight for just 1 second. There's one case ahead of you, and then I'll put you in with a court-appointed attorney.
Judge, for Mr. Washkovich's case, can I talk to Rob in a breakout room for a minute, please? Should be very
Yes.
brief. Thank you.
Thank you.
So do I just hold on the phone?
You hold on the phone. Mr. Batar will be back to speak to you in a breakout room. Sorry, Mr. Foley. We're gonna bring in Mr. Mays and his client in the meantime.
You need to tell her you have pictures that you are trying.
Mr. Barry, you should mute yourself because we can hear whoever's in the background with you. Calling 2000580D Huron Township versus Tiana Trombley.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. William Mays on behalf of Ms. Trombley.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing yelling in the hallway.
Oh.
Not sure what's going on. There's a pretrial scheduled in this matter this morning.
There is, Your Honor. Mr. Foley and I have had an opportunity to discuss this case. Kevin, would you be considering maybe a conditional to reduce it down a little bit lower than that? Or do you want to meet and discuss?
Well, why don't we, Your Honor, can we have a breakout room, please?
Mary Ann will put you in a breakout room. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Kevin, do you see the invitation there to join the breakout room?
I do not, Mary Ann.
Okay, I'll try it again.
Oh, we lost Mr. Washkovich. There he is. Mr. Washkovich, he's going to do a 9 over on that limited access speed, which will only be 1 point on your record, okay?
Thank you.
We just have to wait for the judge to come back.
Thank you.
Judge, we're ready on Mr. Washkovich.
Thank you. Recalling Sumter Township versus Washkovitz.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Washkovich, Your Honor. Mr. Washkovich is going to take advantage of the people's offer, Your Honor. It is an amended offer. He will plead responsible to 9 over limited access speed and double parking. The original charges will be dismissed. Is that correct, Mr. Young?
That's correct.
Okay, hold on one second.
I've been beaten down again, Your Honor, just so you know.
Reckless driving will become a 9 over the limited access.
Yes, Judge.
And the failure to stop is going to become a double parking ticket.
Correct, Your Honor.
A little different than the offer I have in the file. There's $400 for the parking ticket. And as for the limited access speed ticket, I'm looking for, there's a customary fine and cost in that matter. $225 for a total of $625. Mr. Washkovich, you need time to pay that amount?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long do you need, sir?
Would 60 days be sufficient?
Would a payment plan be better?
Yes, ma'am.
How much can you pay and when can you make your first payment?
I can pay $100 every 2 weeks.
Starting?
That's payday, sorry. Starting tomorrow.
Let's put it on the 12th. Let's put it on the 19th, just so there's time for them to mail a payment plan to you, okay?
Thank you.
And we have you on Martinsville Road?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Young, in this matter?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for your assistance. We're all set, Mr. Washkovich. Have a good day. I see that I'm sorry,
Judge, Mr. Barry, I think, wanted to speak with me.
going into a breakout room with you right now, and I see that Mr. Foley and Mr. Mays are back in the matter of promptly 200058.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
And William Mays on behalf of Ms. Trombley, Your Honor.
Parties have had an opportunity to speak.
We have, Judge. Mr. Foley is going to dismiss without prejudice today with the intention of reissuing on a different charge.
Mr. Foley?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And we have no objection to that, Judge.
The matter will be dismissed without prejudice.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Mays?
Second case is Dickerhoff, same thing with.
The answer, okay. So we're all set as to Trombley. So Dickerhoff.
He's in the waiting room right now.
I'm
Your
pulling your client in right now.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
1945240D Huron Township versus William Dickeroff.
And William Mays on behalf of Mr. Dickeroff. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
The prosecuting attorney is moving to dismiss today's action without prejudice with the intention of refiling on a different charge.
Is that accurate, Mr. Foley?
That is correct, Your Honor.
This is why I always talk to them first, Mr. Hawk. Sometimes they're not, so we have to confirm all that.
The matter will be dismissed without prejudice. Anything else, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Mays?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
We're all set. Mr. Dickeroff, have a good day.
Judge, the next one that's on our docket is Nazar Zuski. That was at 9:40. Do you want me to pull him in?
Would you please? Thank you. This is 182877 Huron, Sumter Township versus Nazar Zuski.
Hello. Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a minute.
That's okay. Your name, sir?
Nicholas Nazareski.
Nazareski. Thank you.
No problem.
Robert Young on behalf of Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Mr. Nazareski, this matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on July 4th, 2018, in Sumter Township, you drove while your license was suspended,
Correct.
revoked, or denied. There's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to driving while license suspended, that there would be a recommendation of no jail time. Do you wish to avail yourself of this offer?
Yes, I do.
Sir, you understand that if you plead guilty in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your behalf or cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes. And may I also state, Your Honor, I have been going through this with multiple cities. Actually, it was Secretary of State. They had made a error on one of my plates, and I was supposed to get it taken care of. That was my fault that I didn't. But within like 2 weeks, I had multiple cities get me for the same thing: expired plates, driving while suspended, no insurance. I literally just came out of probably about 8,000 towards other cities, Westland, Garden City, and so forth. I think now it's just this ticket I'm worried about.
This is the last one you have, you said?
Correct. I think I owe one more in Wayne, and that might be it. But I just paid quite a bit, so.
Attorney. May I inquire, Your Honor, are you eligible? Do you know what the status of your license is? I don't have the driving record in front of me. But the reason that I took this action is you set a recent record as far as the number of suspensions. So I just, I think you were ineligible is what I saw.
Correct. Yeah, it was, I've been going through for the last 3 years. It's been pretty hard to catch up. Like I said, I got caught by like 8 cities all at the same time, and I had 8 different arrangements. And now that I finally got everything paid up, I only owe, I think Wayne, and then this ticket for right now, and then I'm finally clear.
Are you clear after you make the payments you're talking about? You're not restricted or suspended for other reasons?
Correct. I will be reinstated my license once I clear this up.
Well, you won't if you plead guilty to a suspension. Your Honor, I will, if the court pleases, I'll make a motion to amend the offer to allowing an unlawful driver to operate the vehicle, which would allow him to pay a fine and the suspension not go on his record. Looks like he might get this cleared up, and it's certainly my purpose to get that done.
Sir, do you wish to
Yes.
accept the amended offer to plead to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is it true that on July 4th, 2018, in Sumter Township, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, it is.
I'll accept your plea in this matter. You'll be assessed a fine of $200. There's a crime victims fee of $75, state court costs $50, fund fee of $20. There's a bench warrant fee of $50. There's a late fee of $50. There's a clearance of $45 for a total of $340. Do you need time to pay that?
Possibly the latest 2 to 3 weeks, Your Honor.
30 days to pay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Young?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, sir?
No, thank you, guys.
We're all set. Have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you. Mr. Batara, you're back on Mr. Berry.
I am, Judge, but I need to go back in the breakout room with him. We got kicked out.
She'll put you back in the breakout room.
For some reason, it keeps showing, inviting me to that breakout room, so I don't know.
No, don't do it, Rob.
Thank you.
I need
Yeah,
you not to
it's
go.
doing the same for me, Mary Ann, and I just say no when I stay here.
Right.
All right, you're one up on me, Kevin. That's okay. Can I go in the breakout room with Kevin, please?
No way.
Two of you.
Judge, Mr. Zelnick is here with his client for Kevin. Do you want me to bring them in and put him in a breakout room?
And they need to talk in the breakout room.
Do you need to, Kevin?
You know, I think that Ed discussed the plea with my daughter, and I think that he's going to avail himself of it. So I don't think we'll need a breakout room.
Judge, do you want me to bring them in?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sir. It's my first name, last name at hotmail.com.
Yeah, his client isn't in the waiting room anymore.
It's not.
No.
Mr. Zelnick, as soon as your client shows back up in our waiting room, we'll pull you back in and call the case, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. He just sent me a screenshot saying he was there. But you know, he's under the age of 30. He should be able to figure this out.
We have some unnamed people in our waiting room.
Well, now that could be a possibility too. Would you like me to give you his cell phone number? I know you're supposed to put your name in, but they don't always listen to lawyers. That's why we have lawyers, Judge.
We don't have it it's not by phone number. It's showing device type.
I know it's an iPhone, but well, I'm dismayed because.
Oh,
he's
we
been
have
there-
an iPhone here. Let's see if,
He's got 2 Latino last names, Your Honor.
I have the file in my hand, but I'm admitting somebody on the iPhone and I'm guessing that this is not Hector. So I'm gonna stick her back in the waiting room. Ma'am, the iPhone, your name, please?
Sharnetta Gilmore.
Ms. Gilmore, I'm gonna send you back to the waiting room for just 1 second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I just texted him to make sure he puts his name in. And if you'd like, I'll mute myself till you call me.
I appreciate that. We have Mr. Batar come out with Mr. Berry. Recalling 20HR10521, Huron Township versus Brian Thomas Berry. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning.
Daniel Batar, on behalf of Mr. Barry, Your Honor, will waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
Thank you.
Judge, we're going to need a new pretrial on this case.
Right.
And Kevin, if you could get me the report, I would appreciate it.
We'll ship that over today, Dan.
Thank you.
The pretrial will be adjourned to. Hold on one second, please. Next hearing date, March the 25th, 2021 at 9 a.m. That will be back with me. As to bond in this matter,
Judge, Mr. Barry is employed full-time. He's doing carpet installation with Joe's Carpet. He's worked there for the past 10 years. He has one minor child that's 7 years old. I don't believe he's any flight risk or threat to public safety. We're asking for a personal bond.
Mr. Foley,
People don't object, Your Honor.
3,000 personal. Mr. Berry, we'll see you back here on March the 25th.
Mr. Barry, I'll give you a call in the next couple of days when I get that report, okay?
All right. Am I all set now or?
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Batar and Mr. Foley.
You're welcome.
I still don't see your client, Mr. Zelenak.
Your Honor, he said he was kicked out of the system and I'm telling him to try and I'll just stand by, Your Honor. If for some reason I don't answer, it might be in another court.
Thank you, sir.
But I will keep you on the screen, Your Honor. I'm enjoying watching it. Thank you very much.
Boy. We have 20SU00469 A and B, Sumter Township versus last name ALBAYATI. Unmute yourself, please. Sumter Township.
Hello. Robert Young on behalf of Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Your name?
Laith Albiati.
Mr. Albiati, this matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial.
Okay.
It's alleged that on November 4th, 2020 in Huron Township, you drove while license suspended, revoked, or denied. On that same day, same incident, there was an equipment violation, defective or missing. Defective or missing what?
Headlight. It was out. My headlight was out.
There's an offer in the file requesting that this matter be adjourned for 6 weeks for you to clear your suspension and put. Mr. Young?
My recollection is pretty good, but not that good. Would you like me to come in and take a quick look?
No, the offer is request to adjourn 6 weeks to clear
Yeah.
suspension and pay $300 deposit toward total fines and costs for possible no ops offer.
That's fine, yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to do is get his license cleared up. If it's cleared up, I would take obviously a much more easier look at this, is what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, would you like to avail yourself of the people's offer? Or would you like to speak with a court-appointed attorney this morning?
What's the offer exactly?
Your Honor, if you'd like me to just let them know straight up, if you clean up your license within 60 days, I will amend the charge and give you a no point violation so it doesn't get abstracted. The motivation is for you to clean up your license, clear up your license.
Okay, yeah, sure. Just tell me what I need to do. Do I need to go down to the courthouse and pay a fee?
Don't know, but you need to take whatever steps are necessary to take care of that.
So
You
I
need to
just
contact the court where you have outstanding violations, or check with the Secretary of State. They'll let you know what you need to do.
Okay, so as of right now, my license is still suspended,
Yes.
but there's no warrant for my arrest or anything like that, correct?
Not that I know of.
Okay, thank you. So are we done here?
No, we are not done.
Okay.
Sir, I'm going to enter a plea of I'm going to have you stand mute to the charge in this matter. I'm going to adjourn your pre-trial to April the 8th, 2021 at 9:10 a.m. You'll be with Judge Green.
Okay.
Court will mail notice to you Have you had the headlight fixed?
Yep, I got it fixed.
Be helpful if you have proof of that when you reappear on the 8th. As to
Sure.
the matter of bond in this matter, $3,000 personal. You don't have to post anything, sir, but you're going to need to reappear here, well, by Zoom on April the 8th. And as the prosecutor indicated, in the interim, you will clear up your license, address any outstanding matters you have, okay?
Okay.
Any other questions this morning?
So I just need to have proof that I fixed my headlight and then contact the court or the Secretary of State to get my license figured out before the 8th.
Yes, please.
And I should be okay after that.
You'll come back and you'll talk to the prosecutor, and if there will be a court-appointed attorney present if you need that.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Young?
Nothing. Thank you, Your Honor.
We're all set. Thank you, sir.
All righty. Have a good one, y'all.
Mr. Zelenak, I still don't see a Hector. Marianne, I'm not sure who else is ready.
Sharnetta Gilmore.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
This is 20SU000359 A and B. Sumter Township versus Sharnetta Gilmore. Ms. Gilmore, it's alleged that on August 21st, 2020, in Sumter Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. on that same day in that same location also alleged that you drove without due care or caution. That's a civil infraction. The driving while license suspended is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail. Fines of $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied, there'll be a recommendation for no jail time, and that the driving without due care or caution would be dismissed. My question this morning to you is, would you like to speak to an attorney this morning, a court-appointed attorney for assistance in resolving this matter? Or do you want to proceed on your own?
I would proceed on my own.
So as to the offer made by the people,
Yes, I take that offer.
you understand that if your offer is accepted this morning, you give up your right to have a trial of any kind in this matter. You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your behalf or cross-examine the witnesses put forth by the people.
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Are you pleading freely and voluntarily?
Freely.
Is it true that on August 21st, 2020, in Sumter Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes.
Ma'am, your plea will be accepted. Mr. Young, anything you'd like to add at this point?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ma'am, your plea will be accepted. You'll be assessed a fine of $300. There's going to be a $75 crime victims fee, a state cost of $50, a fund fee of $20. That's a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within the next 30 days, or do you need longer time to pay that?
No, I'm able to pay that within the next 30 days.
You can go online and pay. You can come pay it directly at the courthouse, or you can mail your payment in. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Young?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
We're all set, Ms. Gilmore. Thank you for your patience this morning.
Thank you. You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank
you. Judge, I'm going to bring in some of these that don't have names to see if it's Mr. Zelnick's client. Is that okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Your Honor. I have my client on the cell phone. He says that he's trying to reload both on his iPhone and his iPad, and they are not letting him enter the room, saying it's an invalid number, and he's gone back to the court website. And I have him on the phone as I called just to reiterate that. I presume he's telling me the truth, and I don't know what the technical difficulties are. He said he rebooted his computer to try to do it again. So I will sit here at your direction. I don't want to resort to having him go on phone, but if you'd like that, I will have him either on my speakerphone or whatever you prefer, Your Honor.
I don't typically have a preference. My only concern is that this matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial, and if there's a possibility that you and Mr. Foley have negotiated a plea in this matter, I'd be concerned about being able to actually hear to your client.
And there is a plea, Your Honor. Mr. Foley, I believe, submitted a plea. So do you want to, I hate to continue it to another date. I have him on the phone now. He's trying, as we're speaking, to get to the computer. Would you rather I just waive the reading, stand in mute, enter plea and not guilty, and then set a new date and we'll sort out the electronics? It's whatever you prefer, Your Honor.
It's whatever you prefer.
I'd like to
It's
get
your
rid of it,
client.
quite frankly, Judge. But he's supposed to get his driver's license back Friday. Maybe I can show you some good faith because they are jumping the gun on the plea, believing me, but let him get his license back. And I will put him on the speakerphone here if you'd like, Your Honor. And just arrange it. I don't want to hold up your docket, Judge.
Mr. Zelnick, you are not holding me up. I appreciate you this morning and the efforts made by your client to connect with us. Everyone's not able to navigate the system, but let me call the case.
All right, I'm going to put him on speakerphone if that's right with you, Your Honor. Mr.
That's
Eric.
fine. Thank you. This is 20HR09991 A and B. Huron Township versus Hector Vasquez Eriquin.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley.
Edward Zelenak appearing for the defendant and Mr. Vasquez. Give your name to the judge, please.
Okay, so I'm going to you for just a moment, okay, because I know that they're.
And Your Honor, we waive any appearance in person. We ask the court to proceed via Zoom. And we'd waive the reading, ask the court to stand and mute, enter a plea of not guilty.
Yes. You guys can hear me, or you guys can hear me?
We can hear you. Just don't speak till the judge asks you to talk.
Okay, I couldn't hear. Okay.
Oh, that's fine. I'm able to hear him. The matter will be, thank you, Mr. Zelenak. The matter will be adjourned to March the 25th, 2021 at 9 a.m. The matter will be back with me.
Thank you, Your
Hopefully,
Honor.
you're able to work out whatever technology issues your client's having. As to the matter of bond,
Your Honor, in as much as he's attempted to appear via Zoom and we've responsibly at least filed an appearance and set up the date, I'd ask Your Honor to consider a substantial personal bond and tell Mr. Vasquez Eriquin no driving until you get your license, which he indicates should be Friday.
Mr. Foley,
No objection, Your Honor.
bond is set at $3,000 personal. We'll see you back here on the 25th.
Your Honor, it's nice
Mark.
seeing you.
Good
And
to see you, sir.
I'm going to sign out. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Judge,
Ma'am,
your 1020 is here, Branow, Martez Branow. Should I bring him in?
yes, please.
Okay. There's also Keith Redley, while we're waiting for this guy to connect. I'll bring that person in also.
Thank you. I see Mr. Trahey's in our waiting room too. I don't see his client. It's not till 10:50, so they're a little early.
Can you hear me?
Mr. Redley, I can hear you. I'm gonna have you hold for just one moment, please.
Okay.
We're waiting for someone else to connect. In the interim, we'll call 20SU00470. Sumter Township versus Keith Redley.
Yes.
Mr. Redley, your case is scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on November 5th, 2020 in Sumter Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. Sir, that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail, plus fines of $500 plus court costs. There is a court-appointed attorney available here to speak to you if you wish, but I want to make you aware of the fact that there is an offer from the people in this matter that if you plead guilty to double parking and pay a fine of $350, they will dismiss the driving while license suspended.
Yes, I'll plead guilty.
And as much as the defendant wishes to avail himself of the offer of the people, so I'm going to have you stand mute for the purposes of your arraignment. Indicate that you'll accept the offer made by the people. Sir, you understand if I accept your plea in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind? As you give me the right to call witnesses on your behalf and question the witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Nothing further other than to just state for the record, the reason for the reduced plea was his license had been restored prior to today's court appearance.
Mr. Redley, the driving while license suspended is dismissed. Your plea is accepted. You will pay $300 for double parking. How soon can you pay the $300?
Within 2 weeks.
Your Honor, I think it was $350, wasn't it?
Oh, thank you. $350, Mr. Redley.
Oh, okay.
Is that still acceptable?
Yeah, could I get a little bit more time?
30 days?
Yes.
$350 within 30 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Young. You're all set, Mr. Redley. Have a good day.
You too.
Mr. Brown, I still can't connect. You might want to go out and try to connect again.
Judge Diana Hanson is here at 10:30. Do you want me to bring her in?
Yes, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is 20SU00474 A and B. Sumter Township versus Diana K. Hanson. Ms. Hanson, you were scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. Would you say your full name for the record?
Diana K. Hanson.
You were scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on November 10, 2020, in Sumter Township, you drove while license was suspended, revoked, or denied. On that same day, same location, you were issued a civil infraction for no proof of insurance. Would you like to speak to a court-appointed attorney this morning, or are you wishing to proceed on your own?
I did not speak to an attorney.
Would you like
I think I'm fine on my own.
So, ma'am, as to the misdemeanor driving while license suspended. Ma'am, there was another file. There's a C file. Matter was also scheduled for arraignment pretrial. On that same November 10th, 2020 date, it's alleged that you were operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more.
Yes, that is true.
And that's a misdemeanor. And is it still your desire to proceed on your own, or I would recommend to you that there is a court-appointed attorney available if you wish to speak to him.
I just want to let you know that I made a mistake and that won't happen again. And
Ma'am?
I will do whatever you need me to.
No, it's not what I need you to, it's what you need to do,
Okay.
okay? Mr. Batar, are you available to speak to Ms. Hanson?
I am, Your Honor. Rob, is there an offer on that?
Yeah, the BAC was 0.17, so it was right on the cusp. So I reduced, the offer says impaired, and the driving while license suspended, and no proof would be dismissed with a $400 payment for double parking. So
Thank you. I'm ready to go in the
impaired and
breakout
double
room.
Ms. Hanson, you're going to go into the breakout room with the court-appointed attorney, Daniel Batar. You're going to talk about these three matters with him, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge Heather Lance is ready, 10:40.
Okay. There's 14 people in the waiting room. I'm not sure why they're hanging out.
After you're done with this one, I'll find out. There are some that are unnamed. I'll see
Thank
who's
you.
got-
Yeah, I'm looking for, we had a civil case scheduled for 9 o'clock. I'm still looking for those people.
They are here, Judge.
Is Mr. Robinson, he's here?
No, I'm sorry. No, the other two are. Sorry, the attorney and her client.
This is 20SU00488. It's a Sumter Township versus Heather Lance. Your name for the record, ma'am?
Heather Lance.
Ms. Lance, you were scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on November 18, 2020, in Sumter Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and fines of $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in this matter that if you plead guilty to driving while license suspended, they will recommend that there will be no jail time served in this matter. Would you like to speak to a court-appointed attorney this morning? Or are you ready to proceed on your own?
No, I'll go ahead and plead guilty because I have MS real bad. And currently from the day that this event happened, I was paralyzed in the past and then I regained my ability to be able to walk again. And I'm slowly declining and I can barely walk as it is now. So I'll go ahead and plead guilty and I'll pay the fines if I can set up a payment plan because I'm on disability and I'm barely making ends meet as it is.
Mr. Young?
May I just ask her a question, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Lance, are you still able to drive?
No, I'm no longer driving. My doctors may have discussed. I'm sorry. So I'm not driving. I have either getting rides through my insurance company to my doctor's appointments or my fiance or my neighbors driving me.
Is there any prognosis that you will be able to drive?
No, probably not. I hate to say it, but I probably won't be.
The charge, I believe, Your Honor, was driving while license suspended. So I'd like to take another look at this, but in the meantime, not to clog up the docket, I would move to dismiss without prejudice at this time. And I'll take another look at this. And I'm sure Ms. Lance has no objection to that.
Ms. Lance, do you object to dismissal of this matter?
No, I don't.
The matter will be dismissed without prejudice. Thank you, Mr. Young. Ms. Lance, we're all set. You have a good day.
Thank you. You do the same, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, Mr. Attorney Powers is here with his client, Brian Smith. It's a 1050. Do you want me to bring them in and see if you need, Kevin, do you need to speak with them? Wait, you're muted, Kevin.
I know that there is an offer in the file, Mary Ann, but if you'd like to chat, I certainly can.
Judge, do you want me to bring them in?
Would you please?
Hello.
Hello.
Give me one moment, please.
Sure.
One moment, Mr. Batar and Ms. Hanson. This is 20HR-07879, Huron Township versus Brian Sebastian Smith. Your appearances, please.
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Sean Powers on behalf of Mr. Smith, Your Honor.
Mr. Powers, today is the day and time set for arraignment pretrial for your client. It's alleged that on August 14, 2020 in Huron Township,
Hello?
there was a spilling of the load on the highway. This is a misdemeanor.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like an opportunity to talk to the prosecutor about resolving this matter if I could.
Mr. Powers, there's an offer in the file for double parking with a fine of $300 and the spilling load on the highway will be dismissed. You still need to speak to Mr. Foley?
No, I'm acceptable with that, Your Honor. There's no points on that, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, that's acceptable.
Your client's going to enter a plea as to double parking for a total fine and cost of $300. And count one will be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to inquire of your client.
Mr. Smith, you are on the call, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
You're agreeable to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Does your client need time to pay the $300?
Yes, Your Honor. How much time could you allow?
Can you pay within 30 days?
30 days would be fine. Yes, thank you.
Mr. Foley, anything further in this matter?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Powers?
No, Your Honor.
We're all set. Have a good day. Good luck
Okay.
to you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Smith and Mr. Foley, and thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Hanson, Mr. Batar, Mr. Young, recalling 20SU00474 A, B, and C.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Hanson. As to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Mr. Batar, did you have the opportunity to discuss the offer made by Mr. Young in this matter to plead to impaired and double parking with the high BAC, DWLS, and no proof of insurance being dismissed?
I have, Your Honor. She would like to take advantage of that offer today.
Ms. Hanson, did you hear the comments made by your attorney this morning?
Yes.
And is your desire to avail yourself of the offer of the people?
Yes.
You understand if I accept your plea of guilty this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind in this matter? Did you waive your right to call witnesses on your behalf and question witnesses put forth by the people?
Yes, ma'am.
You pleading guilty in this guilty to impair and in double parking freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way to get you to plead guilty this morning?
No.
Mr. Bataras, you'd like to lay the factual basis for the plea this morning?
Yes, Judge. Could I get the date, please?
November 10th, 2020.
Ms. Hanson, on or about November 10th of 2020, were you operating a motor vehicle in Sumter Township?
Yes.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, had you consumed alcohol?
Yes.
And did the consumption of that alcohol impair your ability to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And you're pleading responsible to double parking as well, is that correct?
Yes.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Young?
Sorry, satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, your plea of guilty to impair will be accepted by the court. I refer this matter to probation for a pre-sentence investigation. They'll be in contact with you. They'll arrange to schedule the sentencing date in this matter. I have your phone number, Ms. Hanson. Oh, you know what? Hold on one second.
Okay.
Just looking to see if we had it anywhere in the file. Matter is streaming live over YouTube. That's the only reason why I didn't want you to say your whole phone number out loud. Does it end in 7281? Ms. Hanson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Probation will be in contact with you. As for the double parking of $400, do you need time to pay that, or can you pay that within 30 days?
Can I have 45? Just the way my pay schedule is. I can make a $200 payment today.
200, then another 245 days?
30 from today, I guess is fine.
Okay. I'll put a note in the file, and you can either pay it online, you can come to the court and pay it, or you can mail in the payment.
Okay.
Anything else as relates to Ms. Hanson and Mr. Batar?
Judge, I forgot to get her phone number. Mary Ann, could you just send me in a breakout room for 30 seconds with her to get her phone number, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, do you want me to bring some of these people in who are unnamed? And
would you please?
I will do that. Ma'am, can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me? Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your name, please?
Daniel A. Martin.
Ms. Hanson, you're free to go now. Well, she's gone.
Mr. Martin, what time were you scheduled to be here today?
Maybe at 11 o'clock.
Okay. Judge, do you want to leave him where he is? Are you ready for him? He's at 11 o'clock.
He's scheduled for a formal hearing at 11.
Your
Oh,
Honor,
no,
this-
I'm sorry.
this
No,
is
no,
not
no.
One of the formals, Judge.
I'm sorry.
This is not one of the formals.
That's what I just said. No. At 11 o'clock. Marianne, I would just ask, pull in the other people, make sure there's no one scheduled earlier. I want the 9 and 10s to still be hanging around if possible.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Hi, good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi, what is your name, please?
Eric Howard.
You're scheduled at 11 o'clock, correct?
Yep.
Okay. 1 second. Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Howard, not you. The man that has, the person that has the mask down. Can you hear me? Hi, good morning, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi. What is
Hi,
your name, please?
Marcy Osborne.
I'm sorry, the last name?
Osborne?
Yep. Judge, Mr. Bowditch is here on that one. That's at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Do you want me to bring him in?
Would you please?
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is 195223 Sumter Township versus Marcy Lynn Osborne.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of, but I don't know if I'm with Miss Osborne or not.
Hi.
You checked in?
I think I did the right way.
Oh, ma'am, I
I'm
can
not sure
hear you. I
I'm-
can see you. We're okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, I'm checking in on Miss Osborne. Your Honor, if we could, I was hoping Miss Osborne and I may go into a breakout room.
Before you do that, Mr. Bowditch, I would indicate to you that there is a plea offer in the file from Mr. Young to adjourn this matter for 90 days to provide parental portal sign-in information to, allow the court to review.
Could I then speak to Mr. Young for a second?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Marianne will put you in a breakout room in just a second.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. This is 20HR12942 A and B, Huron Township versus Daniel Martin.
Kevin Foley for the people, Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
Daniel Martin.
Mr. Martin, your cases are scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on December 9th, 2020, in Huron Township, you had consumption of alcohol in a motor vehicle, sir. This is a misdemeanor. On that same date, same time, you had a registration or plate violation. That is
Correct.
also a misdemeanor punishable by up to a term of jail plus $500 fine plus court costs. As for the arraignment in this matter, I'd like to enter indication that you stand mute to the charges and advise you of an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to double parking and pay a fine of, is that $250, Mr. Foley?
That is 250, Your Honor.
That the open intox and the registration or plate violation misdemeanors will be dismissed. How do you wish to proceed this morning? Do you wish to accept the offer of the people? Would you like to speak to a court-appointed attorney? Or would you like to appear on your own?
I'll take the first one, ma'am. Was it 250?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if you accept the offer of the people, you won't have a trial of any kind in this matter. You will not be able to call witnesses on your behalf or question witnesses put forth by the people.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're pleading responsible to the allegation of double parking.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Foley?
We're satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Martin,
Yes, ma'am.
how much time do you need to pay the $250?
I can pay it whenever. I just gotta know where to pay it at, ma'am.
Mr. Martin, you can either go online and pay it. You can bring $250 to the court, or you can mail it in.
Your court, it's 30 in Romulus, correct?
It is, sir. We're at Wayne and Goddard.
Okay, I'm about 20 minutes from there. Hey, what time y'all close? I can pay today.
We close at 4 o'clock today. If you come to the door, sir, and give them your name, they'll walk the payment up to the cashiers.
I can do that. You take debit card or cash or?
We take both. I know there's a convenience fee for the debit card. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that today, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Martin, you have been an absolute delight. Responsible to double parking for $250. The 2 misdemeanors will be dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
No, Mr. Robinson.
He's gonna sign on in just a second.
Is there anybody else ready to go this morning?
I am, ma'am.
There are 2 attorneys, one for TKMS at 10:50 and Mr. Trahey for Michael Williams.
I see Mr. Young and Mr. Bowditch back.
Your Honor, I would need a breakout room with my client to finish this.
Were you kicked out?
No, ma'am, I left voluntarily.
So Mr. Bowditch and Ms. Osborne will go back into a breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
and Mr. Howard.
Yes, ma'am.
20SU00496 Sumter Township versus Eric Howard.
Correct.
Mr. Howard, you were scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on December 5th, 2020, in Sumter Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This
Yes,
is a-
at that. Oop, sorry to interrupt you.
What were you gonna say?
At that time, I didn't know that my license was suspended.
Mr. Howard, we're not quite at that point yet.
Okay.
This is your arraignment, first appearance in this matter. This is typically where someone pleads guilty, not guilty, or stands mute. Before you elect how you wish to proceed this morning, I just want to make you aware of the fact that there is an offer from the people, from the prosecutor, that if you plead guilty to driving while license suspended, that there will be a recommendation of no jail time. Would you like to speak to a court-appointed attorney this morning, or do you wish to proceed on your own?
Can I speak to a court-appointed attorney?
Mr. Batar will go into a breakout room with Mr. Howard. Thank you, Mr. Batar.
You're welcome, Judge.
This is 204723 LT Moaning Properties versus Fred Wright.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. My
Morning.
apologies for the wait this morning. Are you ready to proceed, or do you need time to speak to one another?
Judge, I'm not going to make Ms. Till's argument for her, but my client no longer owns the property, so it doesn't
Say
really.
it. I know it's killing you to say it.
Yeah, we're not opposing the motion, but we're not agreeing to it. So I just deferred to you, Judge. It doesn't, apparently, Ms. Till's client has already worked out some arrangement with the new owner, so I'll leave it at that.
Yes, Judge, that was essentially going to be my argument. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Their client did not own the home at the time the judgment was granted, so I would say that, the default should be set aside.
All set aside, and then what would the next step be?
We're done. We have we don't have any interest in anything. So, whatever the subsequent landlord's going to do is up to him. So, the judgment it wasn't a non-payment. It was a termination of tenancy. So, money's not an issue.
I understand that, but if Ms. Till's argument is that your client, if I understand it right, the property was sold prior to judgment.
Correct.
So if the motion is granted and the judgment is set aside, are we rescheduling a hearing on the termination of tenancy?
I believe we could dismiss the termination of tenancy suit, Your Honor.
That's what I'm waiting for Mr. Robinson to see if he's going to say those magic words, because that's not.
Yeah, Judge. Let's make it easy. We'll dismiss without prejudice, I guess would be the best way to do it. Is that good, Felicity?
That works for me.
Okay.
Till's motion will be granted. The judgment that previously entered will be set aside. The underlying termination of Tennessee matter will be dismissed without prejudice. Ms. Till, I apologize. Your file hadn't been pulled this morning. I saw you sitting in the waiting room. Mr. Robinson, thank you for jumping on this morning.
No
Ms.
problem.
Till, will you submit an order to the court, please?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else in this matter, Ms. Till?
No, nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Robinson,
No, Your Honor, thank you.
thank you much. Have a good day.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Bowditch and Ms. Osborne, I see that you're back.
Judge, I have
yes,
a
Your
breakout room with Rob Young, please.
Your Honor, we're just requesting an adjournment on Miss Osborne. Per the request of the juvenile officer.
I don't believe that Mr. Young has any objection, so the matter will be adjourned. We'll get a date.
They're requesting 90 days, Your Honor.
Your Honor, there's a caveat to this, though. We're asking for a 90-day adjournment, but also they're requesting that the defendant provide parental portal sign-in information to allow the juvenile officer to review the school records and review specifically the attendance. And apparently this has to be consented to by Ms. Osborne. So Jeff, is she going to do that?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Young, I've explained that to Ms. Osborne. Ms. Osborne is presently residing in Grand Rapids, but she's going to provide to the juvenile officer all the parental portals in Grand Rapids to verify that her 3 youngest children are in school virtually in Grand Rapids. And
Mr.
then we'll go from
Bowditch, I'm sorry, how long does your client need to provide that information?
Oh, Your Honor, I believe she could provide it within a week. Ms. Osborne, is that good?
Yes.
She'll provide that information on or before February 17th. The matter will be adjourned for 90 days. The court will send out notice. Anything further in this matter, Mr. Young?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything
Your
else,
Honor,
Mr. Bowditch?
Is she needs a way to get a hold of Christine in the juvenile department. I can provide that information to her first of the week, Your Honor. But that's the only thing that's holding up.
If Ms. Osborne's phone number ends 6425, is that still a good phone number for you?
Yes.
I'll have Christine reach out to you. Anything else?
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. No, that's good.
We're all set in this matter. Thank you, Mr. Bowditch, Mr. Young. Thank you. Mr. Young and Mr. Batar are going into a breakout room.
Thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm leaving.
Thank you. Mr. Foley. What do you have left?
Judge, your formal officers are here.
Okay. Marianne, could you pause us for just one moment? We'll come.
Yes.